Hello everyone, welcome to my stream of SimCity for the Super Nintendo. This is a very special game to me because although the first version of this game I played was for DOS, this version is the one that is closest to my heart. And I believe it is the most polished of all of the SimCity, classic SimCity releases. You know, the development team at Nintendo in the early part of the Super Nintendo's life was, you know, they really wanted to make sure that every release was very well done. You know, all the releases that came out of Nintendo. I don't want to name my city John. That's dumb. We'll call it Amigoville. I think that's probably a good name. I'll start this game. So, you know, one of the things that makes this game special is the music. If you've ever played this on any other platform, whether it be DOS or the Amiga, there's no music. And the music in this is just sublime. The animation is very well done. We'll go ahead and build our nuclear power plant. Can't put it there. I like to put it somewhere not near anybody else just in case it melts down. I guess we'll just stick it here and we'll build our civilization on the other side of that. So you might wonder how this game controls without a mouse. And I'll tell you, it controls pretty darn well. This game, you don't need to have, you're not really covering a whole lot of ground at any one time on the mouse, especially in the early days and so of your city. And so having, you know, cursor control isn't that big of a deal. So I always like to start out with my industrial park, and then we'll put roads all around it. I guess nobody really needs to visit the nuclear plant. Maybe they'll just take a ferry over. I don't think I'm going to get penalized for not having a road there. And then what I like to do is have a block of fire and police. One commercial zone. You don't need a lot of commercial zones at the beginning. And then a little park area. I think that's kind of nice. Okay. Ignore that call. And as you'll go on, you'll see that there are some pretty significant differences in this version than the computer-based version that Nintendo put in. Nintendo had the advantage of, you know, 3 years after this game came out, kind of hone in on what they thought was the most important things. Our residential block here. I never really got past the original SimCity. I'm sure that I've played SimCity 2000 and the later incarnations. In fact, I know I have. But when you started having to worry about water supply and things like that, it just got to be too deep. I'm a simple man, and this game was just complex enough to keep me happy. I've played a ton of City Skylines, which you do have to control the water and stuff, but that game is just so beautiful that I didn't care. It was just so fantastic. I've done streams of that before on Twitch, since that is a new game. I try to only do old games on the YouTube channel. I don't want to alienate any of our listeners by playing new stuff. All right, so now we just play a little bit of the old waiting game. We can change our game speed here. Speed it up a little bit. We can also use this opportunity to take a look at our settings. So you've got your auto bulldoze, auto budget, auto go to, and background music on and off. disasters information. So you want to look at your map. And you can see all the different things that you can see on all the versions of SimCity. Now, the original version of SimCity that I played, I believe, was just in black and white. Even though it was on a modern VGA computer, it was a black and white experience. So this was the first color SimCity that I played, and boy, it looked great. Now, this does not render correctly on the emulator. I believe that this is supposed to have a white or a cream-colored background. You can see it's kind of hard to read, but it is not like that on the actual Super Nintendo. You got your load and your save, and this guy. He is your advisor, and this is something that's unique to the Super Nintendo version. He pops up at various points and tells you things and gives you things, and it puts a face on the game and keeps it from being too impersonal. And then you can look here and see your status of all your different zoned areas that are developed. So, like I said, this game to me, it doesn't suffer at all from not having the mouse. Completely different than another Super Nintendo game like Lemmings, where you definitely playing with the mouse is the way to go with Lemmings. I don't know if this game had compatibility with the Super Nintendo mouse, because the Super Nintendo did have a mouse that came out, but I don't know if this was built in. I know a lot of games just didn't support it. Alright, village has become a town. I just love this synth. It's so emblematic of the Super Nintendo, these particular patches. Just like with the Amiga, there are certain synth patches that make you think, yes, this is definitely an Amiga game. Hey, Chad. Chad, you need to just leave and come over and play Gloomhaven. That's what needs to happen. Alright, so we've got our house. So this is another thing that's unique to the Super Nintendo version of SimCity, as well as, if you can tell, our leaves are changing colors here. You have seasons in this version of SimCity, which is, I believe, unique to this version of the game. So I want to put my house right there, right next to the police department in the park. Prime real estate. Looks like we are in need of some more residential property. We'll just plug these in here. You definitely should, because I've got nothing going on all week. I mean, I've got all kinds of stuff I should be doing, but nothing that can't wait. More commercial zones in here. Give these people a place to work. I do have a port comparison video in the can of the Amiga version and the Super Nintendo version running side by side. Oh, it's winter. Just to give people a look and see how the menus and things work. Okay, here is the end of our first year. I guess this is the end of our second year, maybe. Or no, this is the budget for the upcoming year. So it looks like we are losing a little bit of money. But I don't want to raise taxes just yet. Oops. Oh, see, I can't see these arrows. There we go. No. Okay. So it is a shame that the emulation is messed up there. Okay. So we are going to build our first railway system. And it will simply encircle what we have here. I don't believe you actually need a railway station in this game. I think the train just sort of runs on its own. I don't know how effective a railway station like this would be. Really, I guess you'd want to use it in conjunction with a bus system. Okay. And I don't know if that train will be able to make that turn or not. It seemed to have disappeared into the water. But hopefully that will ease congestion a little bit, although you can see here we're still pretty congested along these ways. Okay, and let's go ahead and just keep on building out. Go commercial. Right. And then add some more residential. And we should probably put a park in pretty soon as well. And a stadium. Might put our stadium down here in this corner. Something like that. And then fill all the empty space with parkland. Power it. Funny, there's a game going on in the stadium, but there's no power. That's a shame. Although SimAnt probably came out after the mouse, so maybe they were able to build it in proactively rather than retroactively. So that is interesting to know. I've never tried SimAnt before. We need to build out our rail system. So boy, our commercial and residential I just can't build fast enough, but we'll see how the market reacts to this. If you look here, we've got, what are these? Upper. Look at our traffic map here. Okay, so aside from this one little place, it's not so bad. But our crime map. A lot of crime around the old industrial section. It's just like on the waterfront. But I mean, there's not really much I can do about that. I've built a police station fairly close. You're always going to have crime. Oh. Okay, so our commercial needs are going down. Our residential zones are still... We're still at the fastest speed here. Yeah. Let's see. What else can we do? Well, if they want more residential, we'll give it to them. We cross over into fall again. We do need more residential because that's tax money. Build down here too on the water side. All right, zoo time. And that's extra income for the city too. We'll put our zoo right by the stadium. Makes sense. Uh-oh. So it looks like this area right here. You know what? I'll solve your problem. What do you think about this? There we go. No more traffic. And then we'll just build right across here. Perfect. And I believe that I can make this crossing work as well. I just have to delete this part first. Come across there like that. If only real city planning was this easy, you know? There we go. And then we can lay a road right across here. Unfortunately, we can't make that work. Uh-oh. What's going on? Where have I broken the... Oh, I see. Right here. Okay, so I am making money. I'm on the positive side. No need to lower taxes. Okay, power has been restored. Like traffic is under control. I can put these crossways back through. Okay. So we have a very small need for industrial. I think I'm going to wait for these commercial zones to build themselves out. We'll see. We'll see how it ends up here. Oh, I do need to... I was going to say my zoo does not have power. Okay. I'll just build these industrial zones as close to the police station as we can. I just love that music. Pilot Wings is very similar. SimCity Savings and Loan. The bank is just like the bank in real life. They'll give you a loan, but they expect payment in full. And we'll put our bank. Low interest loans. I don't want to take out a loan right now. I don't need to. Again, the music changes every year. All very good. Some more parkland. Actually, I guess we do need some more commercial buildings. Let's build a couple. Maybe some light industrial. You can't really zone for light or heavy in SimCity, but in my mind it's light industrial because it's going next to some residential areas. Alright, things are coming along just fine. But I can't tell you how many years I spent playing this game in, you know, middle school. Just so cool. And the whole lean back experience too, you can't discount that. You know, when you're playing a game on the PC, you're hunched in front of a monitor, and with a Super Nintendo, you're kicked back on the couch, chillaxing. I've got a real need for more industrial zones, although these are not built out yet. I'm also almost out of money. Let's go build up these roads. May need to start to raise taxes a little bit. Okay. Looks like we should probably just get rid of some of these and build industrial instead. Alright, so we're still on the plus side. We're just not making money as fast as I would like to make it. But maybe if I continue to build industrial zones, that'll keep on bringing in the tax dollars. Got more traffic jams here. I don't know how you can have traffic here. I mean, I've got the railway going right next to it. I mean, the only... And the rails are just so much more expensive, but go ahead and build these out around here like this. I remember playing before where I had no roads and I still had traffic problems. So I don't know how that part of the AI works. But look at this, we're starting to build some really cool structures here. Unfortunately, we're not seeing that kind of growth over here on this side. Maybe I should have put some, built some more commercial stuff around there. It's easier for people to get to. Everything looks like it's developing nicely except for got this guy down here. Doesn't seem to want to join the party. Probably could have put my zoo right there instead. Alright, 20,000 people. Well, I guess that there is no reward for 20,000. I was kind of waiting around to see if there was anything cool to put in, but anyway, this has been just a quick look at the Super Nintendo version of SimCity. Like I said, look forward to, or maybe once this gets published, the port comparison will already have happened. But anyway, check that out if you haven't already, and see what you think the differences are. All right, guys. Have a good one. I'll talk to you later. Adios.